So today we're digging into something, well, much more than just another self-help guide.
Yeah, definitely.
We're looking at what a lot of people really call a life manual, a timeless framework. It's designed for building character, getting clarity, finding purpose.
And that's Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, of course. A real classic.
Exactly.
And it stood the test of time because, well, it's not about trendy tricks or shortcuts, is it?
No, not at all.
Covey's big idea, his real insight, was that genuine success, the kind that lasts, it's built on principles, universal principles.
Right. And he pushes for this big internal shift, moving away from what he called the personality ethic.
Which is all about appearances, right? How you look on the outside, like good PR almost.
Yeah, exactly. Towards the character ethic.
Which is about who you actually are, integrity, building real trust from the inside out. It's much deeper.
So building effectiveness from the core. And if you understand these principles, it can help you live a life that's not just, successful on paper, but really intentional, meaningful. Okay, so let's maybe unpack this framework. Look at the habits one by one, see how they connect.
Yeah, and what's really smart is how he starts. It's all about you first, personal mastery. Before you even think about interacting with others, the first 3 habits, they're all about you, getting your own house in order.
Okay, so habit 1, be proactive.
Yeah.
This sounds like taking real responsibility, like radical responsibility for yourself.
It is. It's about choosing how you respond, understanding you make your own weather. You're the driver, not just a passenger reacting to circumstances.
That feels like a huge difference. Especially now, things feel so unpredictable sometimes. Being proactive sets you apart.
It really does. And it lays the foundation. Because if you accept you're in charge of your choices, then you can move to habit 2.
Which is begin with the end in mind.
Exactly. And this isn't just simple goal setting, it's deeper. It's about living with a purpose, having a clear vision for your life. Like, what do you want your legacy to be? You're essentially designing your life based on your core values, working backward from what truly matters to you.
Designing your life backward.
Yeah.
I like that. Can you give a quick example? How would someone start doing that? Maybe for their whole life vision or even just a tricky project.
Sure. Well, Covey suggests imagining your own funeral. What would you genuinely want said about you? Not just achievements, but your character, your relationships.
Wow, okay. That's powerful.
It is. Or for a project, instead of just jumping in, really picture the ideal outcome. What does success look like, feel like? Then map out the steps backward from there. It forces you to be clear right from the start.
Makes sense.
And that clarity leads right into habit 3. Put first things first.
The time management one.
Sort of, but it's more about priority management. It's not about cramming more in, it's about focusing on what's truly important.
Right. Not just what's urgent, what's shouting loudest.
Exactly. Saying no to the tyranny of the urgent, the constant emails, notifications, demands. So you have space for the important but maybe not urgent things.
Like planning or relationship building or even just learning something new.
Precisely. Those things that don't scream for attention but give you the biggest returns long term.
That's a constant struggle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Resisting the urgent buzz. Okay, so once you've built that internal foundation with those first 3 habits, self-mastery.
Then Covey shifts. He moves to how you interact effectively with other people, the public victories.
Starting with habit 4, think win-win.
Yeah, this is crucial.
Because life isn't always a competition, right? It's not always about someone winning and someone losing.
No, it shouldn't be. Win-win means looking for solutions where everyone benefits. It's about mutual respect, collaboration. It builds trust.
It sounds ideal, but what about people stuck in that win-lose mindset? What's tough about adopting win-win? And maybe what's one small step someone could take?
That's a really good point. I think the hardest part is often getting over that scarcity mentality. The feeling that there's only so much to go around, so if you win, I must lose.
Right, the limited pie idea.
Exactly. An immediate step. Maybe just consciously stop assuming you know what the other person wants or needs. Genuinely ask them, what would a good outcome look like for you here?
Just asking the question. That opens things up.
It really does. And that desire to understand leads perfectly to habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood.
Oh, this one is huge. Most of us listen waiting for our turn to talk, don't we?
We really do. We listen to reply, to make our point. But Covey pushes for empathetic listening, truly trying to see the world from the other person's perspective before you try to get your point across.
Empathy. That builds such strong connections in
Yeah.
families, at work, everywhere.
Absolutely. And when you combine that deep understanding with a win-win approach, well, that unlocks habit 6, synergize.
Synergy. So teamwork, but more than just teamwork.
Yeah, it's like creative cooperation. It's where the whole becomes genuinely greater than the sum of its parts. It's about valuing the differences between people.
How so?
Because those different perspectives, when respected and combined, can spark solutions that no single person could have thought of alone. Think of, like, a great jazz band improvising.
Okay. Creating something new together that wasn't there before.
Exactly. Unity leading to breakthroughs.
Okay, so that's 6 habits. What's the final one? The one that holds it all together.
Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. This is about self-renewal. Taking care of your most important asset, you.
Makes sense. You can't run on empty.
Right. And Covey breaks it down into 4 areas: physical exercise, nutrition, mental reading, learning, emotional relationships, service, and spiritual values, meditation, nature, whatever works for you.
It's like continuous maintenance and improvement, like an athlete training not just for one game, but for a whole career, keeping sharp.
Precisely. And we often neglect that, especially the mental and emotional renewal, don't we? Until we burn out.
We really do. So wrapping this all up, it's this whole deep dive. What's the big takeaway?
Well, I think it's clear the 7 habits isn't offering you a quick fix. It's not a list of life hacks.
No, it feels much deeper.
It's presented as a long-term philosophy, a way of living for real effectiveness, both personally and professionally. Committing to these habits, the idea is, helps you become a fundamentally better, more integrated person, and that leads to results that actually last.
That's the real promise, isn't it? That lasting impact. Okay, so thinking about everything we've discussed, here's something for you, the listener, to consider. Which one of these 7 habits really clicks with how you already approach life? And maybe more importantly, which one feels like it could be the most challenging for you to start embracing, but also potentially the most impactful?
Yeah, that's a great question to reflect on. Which habit needs your attention right now?